Hi guys, Sandy Ingram here, registered with IRS since 1999. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Central Bank of Iraq and exactly what they do and how close they may be to a revalue. We will also talk about an IQD investor who has 10 million Iraqi dinars and how much in taxes he will owe on his exchange, and what he can do to lower his tax liability. Are you ready? Let's get started. John has 10 million Iraqi dinars, and they float the Iraqi dinar to a value of 1 dinar equaling 50 cents USD. And John is allowed to cash in this amount at a Federal Reserve Bank in the United States. John is single. He will owe 35% of 5 million US dollars, which is a whopping taxation of $1,750,000. Yes, that is the highest tax bracket and is generally what he or you would owe in taxes. You see, people, this foreign currency exchange thing is nothing to play with. Now, let's say you can't exchange the money in America. Let's say the policy is such that no one can exchange the money in America. You have to travel to exchange your money. Let's say you pack the 10 million dinars into a suitcase and take a cruise to a connecting destination where you can fly to a place where you can exchange your IQD. By law, you still must share this information with the IRS. And if you try to set up a bank account in a foreign country, the IRS will find out about it, and you will be in even more trouble, possible prison time. Banks all over the world now report all bank accounts opened by U.S. citizens to the Department of Treasury. If the IRS finds that a bank is being secretive, the bank can be penalized with a fine or worse, blackballed from doing business with U.S. banks. Now, the IRS tax codes use more professional words, but that's the bottom line. I will share a possible solution at the end of this video. First, let's talk about the Central Bank of Iraq and the proposed revalue. After the United States-led coalition invasion, one of the first things that needed to be done in the reconstruction of Iraq was the establishment of a central bank. The CBI is the focal point for the revalue of the Iraqi dinar. Now let's talk a little bit about what they do. What is their job? Now the link to this entire article is in the description. The article is extremely long and it goes through details of what is the process for the Iraqi dinar revalue. And I encourage you to take a look at that. It all boils back down to the Iraqi government and parliament. They must be in alignment with the CBI for the revalue to occur. We can expect a slow process towards the revalue after the early elections for Iraq in June, and the factors which affect any country's foreign currency rate must and will come into play when determining the exact dates of the revalue. Now, let's talk about how John can reduce his 1.7 million tax liability. Let's say he has a home-based business. He can legally, according to the tax laws right now, and this is September of 2020, he can legally spend 1 million US dollars on a business asset to grow his business and write off 1 million as a expense using Section 179 depreciation. In other words, he could go out and buy $1 million asset, up to $1 million, and depreciate it but it's like a expense on his tax return. So he reduces his tax liability greatly by having a $1 million tax write-off. Now, you need to already have a legal viable home business in existence to make this transaction happen without looking suspicious. Or worse, the revalue happens in mid-December and you don't have the time to start the business. You must be able to put the business asset into service by December 31st in order to qualify for the $1 million expense.